So a crazy team was able to get top 50 in the last ranked season in the Champions tier that features Mudsdale alongside Meowscarada, Mega Blaziken, and some crazy text on some mons you normally see. We're going to be trying out and seeing how well that team can perform. I don't even know what to say about this team, but it finished 38th in the last ranked season and features some incredible tricks that will catch your opponents off guard. Let's break it down. So first Pokemon we have is going to be the Mega Blaziken, which of course is a super strong hitter, and speed boost is such a threat because a +1 speed boost at the end of every single turn is pretty nice for Mega Blaziken. And this one's a pretty standard offensive one. You have Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Rock Slide, and then the attack to keep itself around, and of course Stall to get an extra speed boost at the end of every turn that it gets access to. And yeah, the coverage is really nice, strong hits, and then Rock Slide to be able to hit to the Charizards, which is pretty important. And you might be noticing that we go Jolly Nature on this Blaziken. You might be thinking, why Jolly Nature over Adamant, which of course increases attack because you already get a speed boost at the end of each turn, so why go for a Jolly Nature? Well, the offer said that you want to play a bit more aggressive with Blaziken, and especially in the Swampert Rain matchup, which might not be the prettiest one for this team, so you can go for some aggressive plays with maybe like Close Combat plus like a double up afterward. So that's kind of the idea, because with Adamant Nature, you don't outspeed the Mega Swampert, so going with the Jolly Nature to outspeed the Swift Swim Mega Swampert afterward and getting a Close Combat off can actually be kind of ideal. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the partner for the Mega Blaziken, which is going to be the Meowscarada. And Meowscarada with that Life Orb is really able to threaten a lot of damage. The Sucker Punch is able to KO Basket Legion thanks to the Life Orb. The Flower Trick is able to hit pretty hard, especially into bulky water types that the Blaziken doesn't enjoy dealing with. And then Triple Axle for Garchomp, which is a pretty big one. Unfortunately, the accuracy is a bit shaky on this one, but with Life Orb and Triple Axle, you only need to hit 2 usually in order to KO the standard Garchomps. The Overgrow ability, because you don't want Protean on this one, because you want to actually keep that dark typing to be able to resist Sucker Punch, Aqua Jet, and all those priority moves. And of course, you want to maintain the same type attack bonus for your Flower Tricks and Sucker Punches, because you really try to go for endgame Meowscarada here. EV spread wise, you're able to outspeed Jolly Sneasler, have a lot of attack investment, and then just an extra bit into defense, because you never know what happens when it comes to priority moves, which are super strong against Meowscarada. So having a bit more defense just to be able to take those attacks can be very much appreciated. Next Pokemon we have is going to be Mudsdale, which is a very interesting Pokemon that we just don't commonly see. This one's holding a Citrus Berry, the Inner Focus for the ability, which prevents the Mudsdale from getting flinched, as well as preventing any attack drops through Intimidate. So Mudsdale is a really cool Pokemon. We don't see it too much, and the idea of this Mudsdale is it's actually pretty good into like the lines against the Mega Aerodactyl teams, which is pretty solid. The fact that it can just not get flinched by the Rock Slides, it's able to tank attacks from the Aerodactyl King Gambit line, does threaten the Sylveon and the Mega Aerodactyl with Heavy Slam. Earthquake is able to do some pretty good damage across to just the general mons, and then Curse can actually make this a Trick Room Sweeper and Trick Room counter against opposing Trick Room. So that's kind of the idea behind this Mudsdale. So it is able to just kind of tank attacks and fire off some pretty heavy damage. It's actually pretty impressive. You have a good amount of bulk and attack. I mean, just HP and attack is all you really need. You want to dish out as much damage as possible, and it's really important for like Heavy Slam rolls into the Aerodactyl, into Sylveon especially, and you want the Earthquake to do as much damage as physically possible, so that's kind of the idea. And Mudsdale's already pretty tanky and usually able to survive multiple hits. So next Pokemon we have, Focus Sash Sylveon. That's right, Focus Sash Sylveon. Pixelate does turn all of its normal type moves into fairy type moves and boosts the power of them, and has Hyper Voice, Yawn, Quick Attack, and Detect. Of course, Quick Attack for priority, Hyper Voice for the strong spread type damage, and Yawn, which is able to be disruptive and force opponents to switch, and a lot of this team is to try and chip away your opponents, so having Yawn to be very disruptive, especially into setup mods, is very much appreciated. This EV spread on Sylveon does allow you to outspeed Modest Max Speed Pelipper by 1 point, and then also you are able to outspeed your own Dragonite, which is also pretty nice as well, and then also does have the ability to survive, for instance, like Moonblast from the Whimsicott and Float as well, the double up, and then also just be able to KO the opposing Whimsicott with the combination of Hyper Voice plus Extreme Speed. That's kind of the idea of the Sylveon spread. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the White Herb Multi-Scale Dragonite. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting one. Multi-Scale, of course, halves the damage the Dragonite takes if the Dragonite is at full HP while taking the attack, and has access to Scale Shot, Superpower, Extreme Speed, Protect. So White Herb can help out with Superpower. Of course, the stat drops does mean that it can get negated. And of course, against Intimidate is also pretty appreciated, because you do want to try to get rid of Incineroar as quickly as possible with like a combination of Hyper Voice plus Superpower to remove it from the field as quick as possible. And the Dragonite's pretty interesting because it does have just max out attack. be able to outspeed the fast Pelipper's, and again be able to also like underspeed your Sylveon by 1 point, and then the rest just going into bulk, and with multi-scale is just able to live a large majority of attacks. Going to be used to just get chip damage again to try and put everything in range of the Blaziken and Meowscarada endgame generally. Next Pokemon we have is going to be the Choice Scarf Golden Go, which is a pretty interesting mon, but it's pretty common on ladder just because it's able to surprise a lot of teams, and the fact that Make It Rain, the Choice Scarf, just allows for a really fast hit. And again, the idea of this team, chip your opponent away, put them in Blaziken and Meowscarada range. So that's kind of the goal. And Choice Scarf Golden Go able to outspeed a lot of threats, especially like the Eternal Flow. Whimsicott combinations, good in the Glamora. Able to threaten a lot of pressure with that Make It Rain is the idea here. And just has a bunch of coverage. Shadow Ball, Make It Rain, of course, Power Gem for Charizard, and then Focus Blast to be able to hit King Gambit if you absolutely need to, but hopefully you don't have to. And that is the idea of the Golden Go, just to do as much damage as possible. With the modest nature, you could go with Timid and maybe outspeed some things. Like again, you could outspeed the Basque Legions, but modest because you really do want that damage output with this Golden Go is the ideal situation. So just being able to pressure the Mega Staraptor and Mega Frostlass with this mon and do as much damage as possible, and usually will be able to survive Sucker Punch thanks to the little bit of extra into those defenses. So how to use the team? Well, a majority of this team and the game plans is just trying to set up for an endgame of Meowscarada plus Blaziken. They're very fast, have really good coverage against a majority of Pokemon in the format, so the idea is to weaken Pokemon on the opponent's side in order to set up and clean up with Meowscarada and Blaziken. And there's quite a few ways that you are able to do it. So for example, with a common lead on this team, Dragonite plus Sylveon, multi-scale with the Dragonite is really hard to remove quickly, and the Focus Sash as well, lead from the Sylveon, means that you can just get a bunch of chip damage with the Hyper Voice. You can get some surprise knockouts with Superpower as well, put Pokemon in extreme speed range, and again, just try to set up for your Meowscarada and Blaziken. That Yawn Disruption also being pretty nice too. And you can just get a lot of chip damage, and you can still tail in this way because you have a bunch of priority as well and can just do a bunch of chip and survive multiple hits. Another common lead that you can go for is also the Dragonite plus the Mudsdale, and the Dragonite Mudsdale is a pretty effective combo just because of the fact that it's really good at just being able to take general hits, and you can go for the Earthquake next to your Dragonite, and Mudsdale is really good into the Aerodactyl teams and sometimes Trick Room teams because Mudsdale with Earthquake, they generally don't have much of a resist to Earthquake, and you do have access to Heavy Slam to threaten Sylveon, Aerodactyl, which is pretty important. So you can just go for some pretty strong damage and then clean up again with Blaziken and Meowscarada potentially. And then another option that you do have access to is Dragonite plus Golden Go. The very strong, powerful attack from Golden Go alongside the extreme speed from the Dragonite. Also Make It Rain into Superpower is also super scary into Incineroar that can just threaten a huge amount of damage, which is very much appreciated. So that's another lead you can go for. And you, of course, can lead offensively with Meowscarada and Blaziken, but they generally do want to be kept in the back because together in an endgame scenario, once you have stalled out maybe like Trick Room or Tailwind, can be really effective at just cleaning up the endgame from your opponent. So that's going to be the idea and how you use this team. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, as well as their team report where a lot of this info is coming from, you could go check it out down below in the description. But otherwise, let us get started and play some games and try out this team and see how well it does, because I'm very curious. All right, we have Frostlass, Archaludon with the Sinistra, Politoed, Gengar, and Incineroar. So this is a team that did well at Japan Nats. I actually don't know what you're going to do into this matchup, huh? Probably Golden Go lead because Golden Go is pretty strong into Parish, but I'm not 100% certain because I remember, like, let me double check. Yeah. Leading Golden Go plus Mudsdale is normally a strategy here, but I don't know if I want to lead Mudsdale in this situation. So I think Golden Go is probably okay though still. What am I leading it with though? Because Dragonite's not the best here. Maybe it's Sylveon just to threaten some pressure, but yeah, this is not going to be an easy one. This is not going to be an easy one. Maybe it's Golden Go Sylveon. Or do I actually just go with the Mudsdale? Mudsdale's okay against Gengar Incin, and I guess like my Gengar Incin plan isn't the greatest. I think it's Sylveon though. I think Sylveon plus Gold is probably fine. Have Blaziken in the back end. It's either Dragonite or Meowscarada. I think Meowscarada because I need to hit the Politoed. Let's see. This is going to be quite a crazy one, but a lot of these matchups are just going to be foreign realistically. Like a lot of these matchups are just going to be foreign. Let's see what my opponent decides to go lead-wise here. Gonna be the Frostlass Archalon. Okay. So I don't mind this. I don't mind this because Shadow Ball into Hyper Voice is pretty good here. So I'm going to go for Shadow Ball into Frostlass, or do I want to go for Yawn immediately? Yawn is actually pretty good into Archalon as well. I think I'd go for Yawn. Yeah, I want to Yawn the Archalon. Also, no Gengar is actually pretty nice since I don't have to deal with Gengar. Okay. So we do go for the Yawn plus the Shadow Ball here. I don't want to make it rain because we'll see what the Frostlass does, but I imagine Shadow Ball should threaten Frostlass. I don't know if it KOs though, because Frostlass is pretty bulky, but we'll see. Pick up a Shadow Ball. Ooh, just barely missing the knockout. Unfortunate. Special defense fall doesn't really matter too much here. Aurora Veil setup. Okay, that's pretty nice. Was the original team Aurora Veil? I don't remember. I know it had Rain Dance, but this is a pretty good situation because now I can just go for Hyper Voice and Shadow Ball pretty safely, as we do get the Yawn off into the Archalon, or I could go for a Yawn again into the Archalon slot, as they go for Flash Cannon, which is fine, as Sylveon will be able to eat that with ease, and now we can go for Shadow Ball plus Hyper Voice or Shadow Ball plus Yawn. Both are working here. I think I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball into the Frostlass slot, and I want to go for Hyper Voice. I could also Quick Attack the Frostlass and Shadow Ball the Archalon, but if it's Incineroar, they probably bring in Incineroar. So I'm going to go for Shadow Ball Hyper Voice. This also covers Sinistra if they go for that play. Archalon switches out, which is fine, into the Politoed. So I don't mind this. I get some free damage into Politoed. That'll guarantee putting in range with Triple Axel later in the game. A Frostlass is going to protect, which is A-okay by me here. Because right now they don't have the best switch into Shadow Ball plus Hyper Voice. So Shadow Ball going to come out into the Frostlass, and Hyper Voice is going to do some decent damage into that Politoed slot. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Again, we're trying to set up for an end game where Blaziken plus our Meowscarada can do work. And luckily we do have Meowscarada with Flower Trick that does crit through screens. So that's pretty solid here. We're going to go for Shadow Ball plus Hyper Voice. I guess the question is, do I want to target the Frostlass slot, or do I want to read a switch from the Frostlass? Maybe they have Incineroar, but I think if they had Incineroar, it was likely it came in. So I think I'm going to Shadow Ball and Hyper Voice. Or do I Yawn here? I guess Yawn isn't too bad either. I'm going to Yawn the Frostlass slot, because Archalon switching in, it takes this Yawn, which is pretty good because it might force it out again. And we don't want to give Archalon free turns under Veil plus Rain. So Shadow Ball going to come out into the Archalon. Pretty decent damage, actually. That's pretty good damage, I'd say. And we do get a Yawn off into Archalon. So the Yawn Sylveon is just putting in a ton of work. It's just making my opponent have to continue to switch out. They do go for Weather Ball to KO the Sylveon, but at this point, I've already done a lot of damage here. And actually, it doesn't even knock out Sylveon, so I just get to click Shadow Ball plus Hyper Voice again. So that's actually really good. I'm going to go for the Politoed slot this time, I think. Or do I double up the Archalon? Both are tempting here, but I think I just go for Shadow Ball into... Well, let's see. How many turns of Veil are left? 2? I think 2, right? 2 turns of Veil. I could save Sylveon, which is definitely a tempting option here. I think I'm going to Shadow Ball the Archalon, and I'm going to detect Sylveon. They do switch out Archalon. I'm assuming they don't have Instant. I'm assuming this is Frostlass Sack. But the thing about Frostlass Sack, which makes this interesting here, one, Weather Ball is an Ice-type move now, which is going to be pretty big. And the second one is so it doesn't do that much damage to Golden Go. But also another thing is that they don't have access to Electric Shot without switching out to Politoed. So right now, super commanding spot. We are able to eliminate the Frostlass, which is a big knockout here. And let's see what the Politoed went for. It went for Weather Ball into the Sylveon. So this is perfect. Okay. And now if they go Archalon, that's fine. Yep, Archalon in. They're probably clicking Flash Cannon. I'm actually going to go for Shadow Ball switch into the... Or Shadow Ball into Politoed. And I think I'm going to go out into Blaziken. Because Blaziken now will threaten close combat. I get to preserve Sylveon. Or do I want to Yawn to Archalon? Yawn Archalon's also not a bad play here. I guess I could Yawn Archalon and force a switch. I don't want to take too much damage on Blaziken. You know what? I'm going to Yawn the Archalon and Shadow Ball. If they protect, that's fine. I get a free switch to Blaziken, and then close combat's threatening a lot of damage. So here's a Shadow Ball and a Politoed, some free chip. I didn't want to give a stamina boost to the Arch. This is probably a Weather Ball KO into Sylveon if I had to guess. Yep, that's fine. Because we have done what I needed it to do, and now I get a free switch into Blaziken. And now I can threaten Shadow Ball and Close Combat pretty safely. And the Politoed doesn't look like it has a Water type move, because if it had Muddy Water, it would have went for it. So I go for Close Combat. Will KO the Archaudon now that the Aurora Veil is gone. And yeah, I feel pretty good about this. I could Shadow Ball Close Combat as well. I think Shadow Ball Close Combat into Arch is pretty good here because it also covers for Sinistcha switch. So I'm going to go for Shadow Ball Close Combat. They could go for a double protect with Arch and bring in Sinistcha. And they could also just try to bring in Sinistcha so maybe they can survive the Close Combat. So Shadow Ball Close Combat will do a lot. I imagine it KOs. And even if it doesn't, it's still really good damage regardless. So I think it's still pretty worth it here. As we will Mega Evolve with our Blaziken. And let's see here. Shadow Ball Close Combat is doing a lot of damage. Shadow Ball. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. I don't think +1 Arch is living this Close Combat from my Blaziken. Yep, perfect. And that should be game, I think. I guess I could still win. But it's looking pretty rough for them. I'm thinking of doubling up the Politoed slot, because if I eliminate Politoed, it seems pretty strong. I also don't think they're going to click Rage Powder here. They might click Protect, or they might try to Trick Room. I think I'm going to just double up the Politoed slot with Shadow Ball Close Combat. If they Protect Trick Room, I guess that makes it a bit weird, but I don't really have the best cases. I'm just trying to get a free switch to Meowscarada ideally, but let's see. Okay, yeah, they don't Protect, so Close Combat does come out of Politoed. It does take the KO on Politoed. Excellent, so now I get Shadow Ball off. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted here, and if they Rage Power, it's fine. Otherwise, I got the Close Combat off. It is Kasi Berry on the Sinistcha, which is not too surprising here, but at this point, it should be looking pretty good with Meowscarada, Gold, and Blaziken in back. Let's see if the Sinistcha had Trick Room. Life Dew, yeah. I didn't think it had Trick Room on this, but I wasn't 100% certain. But yeah, now I just guarantee win because I click Shadow Ball into Flare Blitz here, and there's not much my opponent can do. So we will take a pretty nice start win here. Very great. Just put on a lot of pressure with the Yawn Sylveon, and then Blaziken was able to put in a good amount of work. All right, we have, okay, it's Hydreigon, Toxapex, Metagross, Charizard, Garchomp, and Grimmsnarl. This is UB Slow's version of Wolf's team from NIC. This Toxapex stuff is a little bit weird because I'm not exactly 100% certain of what is the best. I mean, Gold is good in Apex, of course, and it's good in Metagross. It's not good into the Scarf Hydra. It's not good into Charizard. Well, we have Power Gem for the Zard, which ain't bad here, realistically. The Grim is kind of annoying, though. Trying to think about the lead. I'm kind of tempted to lead Sylveon Gold. Sylveon Gold is generally fine. I think I do bring Blaziken Meowscarada here. I could also bring Dragonite. Dragonite's not too bad. Scale Shot puts in a okay amount of work, but I think my best combination is probably like Sylveon, Goldengo, Meowscarada, and Blaziken. Like, I think the power of just Power Gem into the Zard is pretty strong as a lead. If they lead Pex, I just ignore it. I also don't even know if they bring Pex realistically, but we'll see what they decide to go. I just like the offense of this, and I think Blaziken Meowscarada is just such a strong back. Okay, they lead Garchomp plus the Charizard immediately, which isn't the greatest, but kind of acceptable. That means they probably didn't bring Grim. I'm assuming it's Hydra back, maybe Hydra Pex. Okay. Unfortunately, Earthquake plus Heat Wave is super threatening, and I don't think Power Gem Quick Attack gets the Zard. Well, it's timid. I don't remember how much bulk the Zard had, though. I think I just go for attacks. I'm gonna go for Power Gem plus Hyper Voice, and we'll see. We'll see. Because at this point, it might just be try to reverse sweep with Meowscarada Blaziken. And I think that's kind of the angle. I kind of wish I led it, but I wasn't prepared to lose it if they led Grim, and it would have been super passive then. Garchomp protects, okay. That's actually good for me, or kinda. I needed the damage in that, but if I quick attacked, 1. Okay, that's still fun though. Yeah, that's still fine. But of course, it could have been a way better spot. We do get a Hyper Voice KO in Zard, so at least we eliminate the Zard. But it could have been a quick attack plus power gem, knock out the Zard, and it would have been a fantastic spot. So we get rid of Charizard. Okay. I'm actually surprised that power gem came a bit close to knocking it out, but now we go on to Meowscarada. We threaten the triple axle into the Garchomp. They can't really go Hydra, because if they go Hydra, they're threatened by quick attack. Let's see. Does the Hydra have a fire move on this team? I don't think so, right? I think it's Snarl, Earth Power. They go Pex. Okay, that's good for me because I can threaten triple Axle and Yawn. Yeah, I'm going to Yawn the Pex and I'm just going to go for triple Axle. Unfortunately, like my ways to break through Toxapex are very limited here. But I have to go for triple Axle and Yawn. Dealing with Pex is going to be pretty scary in this end game. Because I don't have knockoff to get rid of leftovers. At least it can't recover on the bright side. They go for a wide guard, which is amazing for me because I did go for triple axle. Please connect. That's a good hit. Do I need only 2? Why the one time I go for triple axle, man? Does this KO Sylveon? Oh my god, Sylveon's actually great. Oh my goodness. I guess the question is, do I think Flower Trick will KO the Garchomp? Do I think Triple Axle will KO the Garchomp? Because that was, what, 80 base power? This is Flower Trick, which is with Stab and Crit. I think Flower Trick should KO the Garchomp, but who knows? I think I want to punish Pex if it tries to switch, so I think I have to go for Flower Trick plus Hyper Voice. Did 35. Actually, no, I think I have to triple axle. I'm like pretty confident I do. If Garchomp protects, that's fine. Okay. Oh, if I just hit the Garchomp, this was so good. Hyper Voice chips the Pex, so it's not terrible. I get a crit, that doesn't really matter too much here. They Toxic the Meow, okay. They're gonna guarantee fall asleep here. I think my best place to go Blaziken. Yeah, I think it's go Blaziken here and go for triple axle into the Garchomp. Can I Flower Trick? I think I have to triple axle to Chomp. Unless Flower Trick KOs, but I'm not familiar because I know the Garchomp actually has bulk on this team generally. Like I remember Adamant with the Citrus, so I think I have to go for triple axle and just connect 2. Blaziken in. Okay. Yeah, it's Citrus. Okay. Unfortunately, I go down to Poison plus Life Orb, so that's unfortunate. Oh, that was just an opportunity that I could have had. Fine. Yeah, I go down to Poison. I don't think I can beat the Pex now. Well, maybe I can, but like I think it's super unlikely here. I needed like one more hit with Meowscarada. Maybe I had to go for Flower Trick just KOing the Garchomp, but yeah. Now I gotta go Sylveon. They're gonna go out into their Hydreigon. I imagine it's the last. Yep. It might be winnable, though. I can go for a double detect here, stall out, and get the speed boost. Because Blaziken didn't get speed boost because it just came in. So I have to go for a double detect to get the speed boost, and then I'll outspeed the Scarf Hydra, and then I'm actually hoping that Pex wakes up here so I can yawn it, because otherwise I might need a double protect with Sylveon. But yeah, otherwise this is looking pretty bad. The Heat Wave. I need a double protect with Sylveon most likely. Or I could go for Quick Attack Rock Slide, but I don't think that knocks out the Hydra. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a double detect. I think it's my best out here. I think if I hit the second triple axle into the Garchomp, I just need to hit 2 in a row, but that's unfortunately the triple axle life. Okay. I don't get it, so now I don't even know what misplay I need for my opponent to get in the chance, because they're guaranteed to wake up here. I get the K on Hydra. We have close combat. And they go for Infestation here or Toxic. Wait, they Toxic the Blaziken? Maybe I have a chance if I flinch the Pex here with Rock Slide. But I still think it's looking pretty bad. Yeah, I still think it looks pretty bad though. I mean, it's playable though. It is playable. I just need to, you know, flinch. They're gonna protect this first turn. Oh, come on. They're not even giving me a chance, man. Okay, the game's over. Unless I'm like critting every single close combat or something. Toxic, yeah. Because if I flinch the Pex there, then I can protect Sylveon, go for close combat. Then I can spam Hyper Voice plus close combat while they're asleep. Like, it's still like, I think a hard game to win, but because I'm probably going to need like double turn sleep on the Pex, but I mean, I think that game was just won if I hit the Hydra or hit the Garchomp, because then I think I'm in a really good spot to win the game. Because I can eliminate the Hydra with Blaziken, and then I have the strong Flower Trick into the Hydra, but triple Axle unfortunately failing us here. But that's why you don't really use it without a wide lens, but high risk, high rewards. Like KOing Garchomp is pretty tough otherwise. Alright, we have Delphox, Torkoal, Clefable with Whimsicott, Cofagrigus, and Sneasler. I don't even know what to say about this team. I don't know what to say about this team. Okay, I think I'm just going to lead Dragonite. If I don't know what a team plays... Well, here's the thing. Dragonite sucks against Double Fairy, but it's good into everything else. Is this a game where I even try to build up towards Meow? Because Meow kind of is rough here. Is this Trick Room too? Because Trick Room honestly could destroy me if I don't play carefully. Maybe I do lead Golden Go. Maybe it's Golden Go plus Dragonite, because the Scale Shots tech actually puts in a lot of work here, and I do threaten Cofagrigus immediately. And then I think it's Blaziken plus Sylveon back. I think this is okay. Meowscarada doesn't seem that good here realistically, because there's so many resists in general. And then I don't really, like, I'm okay with Mudsdale, but against Levitate Delphox, I don't think it's worth it. I mean, my opponent's on a crazy win streak with this team, so let's see what they got. Delphox Sneasler, okay. I think this Delphox is max speed, and are they going to go for an attack here? They probably fake out the Dragonite and Heat Wave, right? That's what I would assume here. I kind of want to just Shadow Ball to Delphox and swap to Blaziken, because there's no way I think you click Psychic into D-Knight. Okay, they switch out to Delphox, which is interesting. Into Torkoal. Oh, I think they were just not expecting the Shadow Ball coming out, but like, this is such an interesting play here. Okay. Bring out the Blaziken. Is this fake out in the Dragonite? No, they attacked. Okay. Shadow Ball into the gold. Is this Dire Claw? That did a lot to the Torkoal, by the way. Gunk Shot. Don't think this should KO. That did a lot. Okay. Losing Blaziken like that, not so good, but granted, I don't think this is a terrible spot. I get to go Dragonite, I get to click Scale Shot into the Sneasler and Shadow Ball the Torkoal, but yeah, now I think I'm losing the Delphox guaranteed, unless it's like a slow Delphox. So we're gonna go for Scale Shot and Shadow Ball. Alright, we get rid of Torkoal. That's a very crazy just Gunk Shot immediately. And they're just rolling with it, okay. No poison, which is really good for me actually. Scale Shot coming out into Sneasler. Let's see how much we do here. Only a 3-hit, but that's kind of acceptable, I suppose. Unfortunately, they do have the Sun now, so they are going to do a lot of damage with Heat Wave that now knocks out Golden Go guaranteed, but yeah, there's not much I can do about it. I think my best play here is to sack... I think it's Shadow Ball to Delphox, protect the Dragonite. Yeah. Oh, Whimsicott comes in. Wait, that's good for me. Because I can go Sylveon for the gold and I can Extreme Speed the Sneasler, but it depends. I could also Shadow Ball Extreme Speed the Whimsicott as well, but I assume this is Tailwind. Coming out. But if they Moonblast, we're in a bad spot, but I have to make a call here. I'm thinking this is Tailwind, but let's see. Extreme Speed the Sneasler. Sneasler goes down. Okay, did you Moonblast or did you Tailwind? Okay, nice. I got that read right. Because if they Moonblast and Dragonite went down, the game's over. Now I have a Yawn into the Delphox, which is kind of huge. Okay. So we're going to go for Yawn into Delphox, and we're going to go for a Protect with Dragonite. Okay, we have now fought ourselves into a position where it might be winnable. It's still kind of suspicious, but granted, I think I can play out of this one. We'll see, though. We'll protect Dragonite here. This should be like Moonblast Heat Wave, I imagine. Oh, they go for Nasty Plot, which is fine. Okay. Okay, they did go for Moonblast and the D-Knight. Huge. And we do get a Yawn off into the Delphox. So now the Delphox is going to go to sleep. I actually want them to get a knockout here. So I'm actually going to just spam Hyper Voice and Extreme Speed and hope they like take a knockout here. I'm going to Extreme Speed the Delphox because I think I need the extra damage in the Delphox to guarantee the knockout with Shadow Ball because Delphox has good Spadef. Basically, Delphox is going to fall asleep this upcoming turn. And what I need is a Golden Go to come in safely here. They could protect Delphox, which would be smart because they could go for a one-turn sleep. But I could also focus on the Whimsicott in that time period. So it's not a guaranteed line for them, and it also just depends on their Delphox speed. Okay. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm fine with sacking both Pokemon if I have to, because Golden Go should easily beat the Whimsicott. So all I need is this Extreme Speed damage in the Delphox and to get a first turn Shadow Ball. So no protects. I do get the Extreme Speed in the Delphox. Bunch of damage. They go for Psychic into Sylveon, okay. And I'm assuming it's a Moonblast into one slot because they didn't Encore. They did Moonblast the Dragonite. Nice. Okay, perfect. That should be a win here. Because I get a free Hyper Voice off into the Delphox and the Whimsicott. Now the Delphox stasis goes to sleep and it's going to take a first turn, or it's going to take its first turn of sleep. Now we click Shadow Ball into the Delphox plus Hyper Voice, and now we'll win. So this one was kind of a weird, spooky one, but I'm glad it worked out. I'm very glad it worked out. We Hyper Voice, we click Shadow Ball, and we should be good. Oh, they're probably going to Moonblast KO my Sylveon, which is fine. We lock in the Shadow Ball always because that's the move that we need to win. They do Moonblast my Sylveon, but granted, the Golden Go will take the knock on Delphox, and once I KO the Delphox, Golden Go will beat the Whimsicott by itself. So that was kind of like the plan here, and thankfully it did work. So Shadow Ball going to come out into Delphox, does take the knock on the Delphox, and now Whimsicott by itself cannot win the game because it cannot touch Golden Go for any damage. So Tailwind would peter out. I'm faster than Whimsicott anyway, so we get a Shadow Ball off, we outspeed, we KO it, and there's nothing that Whimsicott can do. So very weird team, but Luckily, it worked out. Luckily, we had the yawn pressure from Sylveon, which was really important to us winning here. A crazy gunk shot. All right, we're playing the mirror. How do you play the mirror with this team, man? How do you play the mirror with this team? Oh my goodness. Okay. I have no clue how you're supposed to play the mirror with this team. Like, my first instinct is like Dragonite Sylveon, but if they lead gold, I'm just screwed. I think Blaziken might be a good lead here, actually. I think Blaziken is actually pretty good lead here wise. I think I go Blaziken. I think Meow is not that good here. I kind of want to do Blaziken plus Mudsdale. Because Mudsdale actually puts on a lot of offensive pressure against my opponent's team in general. Or it's Sylveon, because Sylveon Hyper Voice is still pretty good here. And like... You know what? I'm going to lead the Blaziken plus Sylveon. I think it's just really good in general. Then in the back... Gold is pretty decent. But I think I'm going to do Mudsdale and Dragonite. I think Mudsdale can put in work against Golden Go into Sylveon and Blaziken in the end game. And the only mon that's a little bit scary is Meowscarada, but we'll see. Because Dragonite with extreme speed, quick attack from Sylveon, I should have good enough pressure into the Meowscarada, but we'll see. I also don't think Meowscarada is actually that good in this mirror, but let's find out. Okay, I think we had a similar idea. Oh, man. I think this is a line where we're both clicking Hyper Voice plus a Flare Blitz here. And it's going to come down to Sylveon Speed Ties potentially. Unless they go for Quick Attack here. But if they go for Quick Attack, I'm kind of intrigued about how this position goes. Also, I don't know why my camera's not focusing. Okay. So, both Blazikens Mega Evolve. This is just funny, man. This is just funny. Alright, what are you going for? Okay. I think we're going for the same play of just Flare Blitzing each other Sylveons and going for Hyper Voice. The Blaziken Speed Ties don't matter, by the way. It's literally just coming down to the Sylveons. Unless they sped crep the paste. Aww. Okay, that's bad. But, I mean, I can go for a speed tie here, so it's not awful. They also might have changed the team and be Adamant Blaziken. So I'm going out into Dragonite. And we're clicking Close Combat into the Blaziken, and we're going for Extreme Speed into Sylveon. I mean, this is my out here, so I mean, I'm going for it, but... why did we have to play the mirror, man? I could have Quick Attack to be fair, but I feel like you want the Hyper Voice damage into the Blaziken. Because the extreme speed range is actually kind of important. I also don't know if he protects with the Sylveon guaranteed. Okay, protecting Blaziken's an interesting play here. So I'm wondering who you're trying to bring in. It might be Dragonite here, but if it's Dragonite, then we play a speed tie, don't we? Or we play a mind game, I guess. My Blaziken has won every single speed interaction, so I think it is actually Adamant Blaziken that they changed it to. It is Dragonite back, okay. I'm thinking they're going to extreme speed, so you know what? We're going into Mudsdale, we're clicking Scale Shot into the Dragonite. My only problem is I don't know if I actually beat the Meowscarada in time, but we'll see. Bring out the Mudsdale. They protect to break multi-scale, smart. Although this is fine. Also, this Mudsdale's huge. That's a nice dodge. That's a nice dodge. We take that one. We take that one for sure. Okay. I think it's going to come down to Dragonite speed ties. What is this game, man? It also comes down to Scale Shot and how many they hit. Like, it's just going to be a silly one here, I think. We go for Earthquake. We go for Scale Shot. There's like no other play that I really would go for here. They Flare Blitz. Interesting. to break multi-scale. Come on, Dragonite. Oh my god. Oh, why is my luck so bad today? I also lost the speed tie. Okay. Bro. If they 2-hit, maybe there's a chance. I think the game's over. Unless they didn't bring me out for some reason. Maybe they didn't bring me out, but like, who would they have in the back? Man, that's so unlucky. Losing the speed tie on the Sylveon, potentially. I don't know if it's a speed tie, but I assume it is. Although, they did change the Blaziken. Although, I don't think you're going to go with... I don't know. This Sylveon speed stat's very weird. Maybe they did change it. But, I mean, that Flare Blitz plus crit plus, like, multi-hitting 3-hit was kind of absurd. Okay? Maybe if it's Golden Go back, I can win. It is Meowscarada. Unfortunately, I think that means I guarantee lose here. They click Extreme Speed and Flower Trick, and unless Mudsdale lives Life Orb Flower Trick from Meowscarada, I just can't end KOs with Heavy Slam, which I think I'd need a crit for. I just can't see a way out. Well, Mudsdale did its best. Unfortunately, Dragonite always disappoints me whenever I use this mon. Like, Dragonite, every time I've used Scale Shot Dragonite, this is why I refuse to use it in Reg H, man. This mon, I despise so much. I despise using Scale Shot Dragonite so much. But that's the mirror. That's the mirror. I think the Mudsdale adjustment is fine, though. I still don't think Meowscarada is that great of a bring, and I think it was winnable, but I did get unlucky in, like, every aspect if it was a speed tie with Sylveon. Alright, we have Mouse Ape with Eternal Floette, Sinisha, Tyranitar, and Ceruledge. This matchup seems fine. Yeah, this matchup seems fine. I'm gonna lead... It depends on if this, like, is some Scarf Ape Population Bomb Mousehold Strap, but generally I think this is okay. I'm gonna lead Golden Go plus Meowscarada, which is a crazy lead here, but I think it will work. The offense that it has is just really strong against my opponent's team. And I think in the back it's Blaziken, and then last mon, is it... I don't think I need Dragonite in this matchup, and I think Dragonite's kind of bad here realistically. It's either Sylveon or Mudsdale. I think both could work. I'm kind of okay with Mudsdale because it does dress into Floette, and it also just like is a good switch in overall. So I think I'm going to bring the Mudsdale. Like, just having another threat to Ceruledge is just always really nice. So it can also pivot into like T-Tar and a lot of other things easier. So I think that's probably the best way to play this one here. I just like the offense because if they lead Mouse Ape, Golden Go, Make It Rain, and the Meowscarada Flower Trick should be in a pretty good spot here. Yeah, there isn't really much they can do. Unless they protect Mouse as Friend Guard and attack with Drain Punch immediately, or maybe they Rage Fist. I don't know, I still think it's fine because then I just get in my Blaziken afterward and I just threaten a lot of damage. So I'm kind of curious on what my opponent leads here. If they lead Mouse Floette, Make It Rain is just like doing way too much damage, so I'm okay with that. So what is their lead of choice? If it's Mouse Ceruledge, maybe then I could get spooked here. But it is Mousehold Annihilate, okay. So I will lead with my fast mons, and you know what? We're gonna go for Make It Rain, and we're gonna go for a Protect, I think. This covers a lot of options that they have access to, so I think it's worth going for Protect because I get to scout for like a Drain Punch or Population Bomb. Okay, Make It Rain comes out. Good damage into both. Is this beat up? Beat up Rage Fist? That's fine if it is. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind this. And it is looking like Friend Guard right now. I don't mind this. Yeah, this is fine. Because now I get my Blaziken in safely. And now Life Orb, Flower Trick, and Flare Blitz is going to do a lot of damage. So I think as long as it's not Population Bomb Annihilate, or not Annihilate, Mousehold, I should be fine. The leftovers makes it a bit spooky, but we're gonna go for a double Flower Trick Flare Blitz combo here. So that's what we're gonna do. I think I should be fine here. Let's see. I think I should be fine. Because the only way that Annihilate lives in attack is if Mousehold protects, because they keep the Friend Guard, so I always double up the Ape slot regardless. And if they follow me, I get the KO on the mouse, and then hopefully Life Orb Flower Trick will get the KO into the ape. Because it is a very high base power move that crits. Okay, they do follow me. And now it's a Flare Blitz from Mega Blaziken, which is pretty strong. So he's Flower Trick into the Mouse Hold. Mouse Hold goes down. Let's see how much this Flare Blitz does. I think Flare Blitz is stronger than the Flower Trick barely, but we'll see. Yeah, it does KO 8. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, goodbye, Annihilate, but very nice. And now we're down to the final two. Ceruledge, which is a little bit annoying. Floet. Okay. I have no idea what the Floet is clicking here. I could double the Floet, but is that very obvious? I feel like it is. I feel like they could definitely protect Bitterblade, but they don't know if I have knockoff, I guess. I'm going to go for a Rock Slide, because I have a flinch chance as well at the worst. I either Rock Slide Flower Trick. I guess Rock Slide Flower Trick isn't a bad play, or I could Sucker Punch plus Flower Trick as well. I'm just curious if the Floet protects. I want a Sucker Punch a Ceruledge. You know what? I'm going for a Sucker Punch. Nice. Called it out. Beautiful. Because, like, the thing is, Floet's a pretty frail mon, so I imagine Sucker Punch here is pretty strong. Wait. Oh, they went for Bulk Up. That's fine. That actually is still pretty good for me, because, like, the Floet's vulnerable to the next turn. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go for Bitterblade. Yeah, that's good damage to Ceruledge. And I flinch it, too. So, yeah. It was just, like, looking pretty rough for them. Okay, now we can go for a Rock Slide pretty safely here, and we can go for a Flower Trick. I mean, they went for Bulk Up, but I still don't think the Bulk Up was saving them, because then I could double the Floet, assuming they don't get double protected next turn, and hitting my Rock Slides, and then Mudsdale's in a pretty good spot, but like it just comes down to like, do I get lucked afterward? Because I think the Bulk Up doesn't save them. Let's see. We hit the Rock Slide, so that's beautiful. That should be game because I KO Ceruledge. The Floet took damage, and now Flower Trick will KO the Floet. I'm pretty sure it should. Like, this isn't the most powerful move, but it is a crit. But it is a bit weak. Oh, wow, that actually did a lot as I thought. That has a lot of defense, actually. Okay. Or maybe I just overestimate Meowscarada. Is this Dazzling Gleam? That's fine. Yeah, because Blaziken survives, but I also have Mudsdale back. Like, I think Mudsdale survived any attack. And I don't think this is Light of Ruin Floet. It just seems like it's too bulky. It definitely has a good amount of physical defense, and they're going to forfeit. Okay. Nice. The power of just Blaziken, Meowscarada next to each other, which is what this team is mainly aimed to do. Alright, we have Charizard, Incineroar, with Garchomp, Venusaur, Aegislash, and Sylveon. Alright. Okay. Normally my plan is like Dry Knight Sylveon, but there is like the Aegislash, which makes this very weird. Very, very weird. I don't think I bring gold. I think it's just Dragonite Sylveon. I think I just go with it and then have Meowscarada, Blaziken. The goal is to try and just weaken a lot of the things and then try to set up a situation where I can go with Blaziken, Meow, clean up. That's kind of the idea here against the Sun matchup, but Aegislash, I mean, I do have Blaziken, but we'll see. I do need like a lot of chip damage on their team. Let's see. They're also on a pretty big win streak. Let's see what they go for. Incineroar Sylveon. Okay, that's not too bad. Although I'm trying to figure out how I get enough damage here, realistically. White Herb activates, which is pretty nice. I do have access to Superpower, which is pretty good. I think I'm just going to go for Protect, and I'm going to go for Detect. Like, I think it's a pretty safe play for the most part. Instant could switch out, would be a good play on their part, but yeah, there's not really much I can do to punish that. I would like to get rid of the Incineroar if possible. I'm going to go for Hyper Voice plus the Superpower, I think, in the Instant the next turn, because if I outspeed this Instant, Hyper Voice will go off and then Superpower, and if it's not Chople Instant, I should KO it because I avoid playing around the Citrus Berry. So I think that's the idea here. Fake Out into Sylveon, and this is Hyper Voice. Yep. Okay. Now we get Hyper Voice chip damage into Sylveon, important for like Blaziken or Meowscarada to put in range, and we go for Superpower. I think they're probably going to attempt a Parting Shot here over a hard switch, but let's see. Yeah, they did. So I do get a Hyper Voice off, which is pretty decent damage to Instant. Let's see if Superpower will KO the Incineroar. So Superpower does KO the Instant. So getting rid of Instant is really nice. I don't have to worry about Intimidate for Meowscarada as well as Blaziken. So really nice start. Although it's probably Scarf Chomp, which is going to be annoying. Hyper Voice, but we take it with ease. Yep. Okay, great start. Great start. But nowhere near over. Charizard coming in is fine. Trying to figure out where I should go for the extreme speed damage. I think I go for extreme speed damage into the Zard always and protect the Sylveon. Because we're trying to get a free switch into my Blaziken, and then we'll click Rock Slide. I think it's very unlikely that they run Timid Max Speed Zard, and because I'm Jolly Max Speed Blaziken, I can afford to go for Rock Slide Hyper Voice the next turn. I also get flinch chances as well, assuming I connect, of course. So we detect here, we go for an Extreme Speed because we'll guarantee put the Zard into range of Rock Slide from Blaziken afterward. They go for Weather Ball into Sylveon and Hyper Voice. Oh, please tell me the Hyper Voice KOs here. Because if it doesn't, I'm actually in an awkward spot. Yeah, okay. So Dragonite goes down, and now we get to go out into our Blaziken. And we click Mega Evolve Rock Slide, and we click Hyper Voice. And we start getting speed boost on Blaziken too, which is actually pretty important for a later part of the game. So yeah, we just go for Hyper Voice, and we go for a Rock Slide here. And let's see what we can do. Because I'm kind of curious on what the last mon is. Is it Chomp? Is it Venusaur? Those are all going to be good questions. So Blaziken Mega Evolves. Please hit the Zard. Oh, you've got to be kidding me today. Okay, double dodge, double dodge, double dodge. Okay, not a double dodge, but honestly still fine probably. Man, it has not been a kind day. It has not been a kind day. Hyper Voice. Okay, I'm not in quick attack range. Just hit the Zard, please. Just hit the Zard. There are like a lot of paths my opponent actually has to victory here, which is, it depends heavily on the backmon, I guess, but like, yeah, that's really annoying. Okay, they protect Charizard, which doesn't change anything here. The quick attack does change here, unfortunately, because the quick attack means now I'm in the Garchomp Dragon Claw range, which is bad. I might need a flinch on the Garchomp if it's Scarf. And if it's Venusaur, I could still be fine. If it's Venusaur, I should be fine if I connect my moves. Alright, who's the last? Who is the last? It is Venusaur, okay. If I hit Rock Slides, I win the game. Because I can go for a Rock Slide and Triple Axle here. If they get a double protect with Charizard, I could always get a flinch on Venu. Nice. Okay, that should ensure the game because now I do win with Triple Axle. Thank goodness it wasn't Scarf Chomp. If it was Scarf Chomp, I was actually super terrified, but thankfully this works out. I go for a Sludge Bomb, which is fine because Flare Blitz will KO the Venusaur. Okay. Scarier than it needed to be. I felt like I had it really nicely set up, and then it started going downhill after missing, but it's life for Beanie too, so it's not like some random Akka set. So battle will be finished. Okay. Blaziken, or my entire team, please lock in and hit the recipe boost for the rest of the video. Thank you very much. Cause, alright, we have Charizard, Sylveon, Garchomp, Aerodactyl, King Gambit, and the Ferrigiraf. This is where Mudsdale really shines, because Mudsdale is actually pretty decent against, well, for the most part, is generally pretty good against this. I do like Mudsdale Dragonite here, for the most part. Mudsdale Dragonite seems pretty strong. Because Earthquake, Heavy Slam, just threatening a lot of pressure immediately. And then in the back, Definitely Blaziken. And I guess it's Meow because I need to hit the Garchomp and respect it. Kind of curious on what their plan is, but I do remember that this line, generally, it is Mudsdale plus Dragonite because it's kind of hard for my opponent to remove the Mudsdale quickly because Mudsdale is just a really strong mon into physical attackers especially. So kind of curious on what they decide to lead here. If it's like Arrow Gambit, that's completely fine. I can go for Heavy Slam Protect, which is pretty reasonable for me. If they, or I could even Curse up. Like Curse realistically on Mudsdale is not a bad option either. So I'm kind of curious on how this is going to go. I'm also curious if they bring the Charizard as the Mega, which I feel like they don't have to, but at the same time, like I think King Gambit's easily coming. I think the Aerodactyl, I'd assume it's Charizard Sylveon, because I don't think it's Garchomp, but we'll see. I'm not 100% certain. But yeah, the thing is, at least with Trick Room, they shouldn't be setting up Trick Room even if they leave Ferrogoth, because Mudsdale is pretty threatening under Trick Room, unironically. So I have a feeling that even if that's the case, we'll be good. Okay, Sylveon King Gambit is really nice for me, actually. Okay. I can go for Earthquake, and I have a lot of places I can go for. I can go for Earthquake immediately. I could go for Heavy Slam. All are pretty decent options. I think I just go for Earthquake. Actually, no, I think I Heavy Slam immediately. I need to damage into Sylveon, because I don't think Gambit's as big of a threat to my general team as Sylveon Hyper Voice plus any other attack can be. So let's see. I think this is Hyper Voice Kowtow, but let's find out. They go for Kowtow. As long as this is a Hyper Beam, we should be good. Oh, is that Black Glasses? Did they change the team? Okay, it is Hyper Voice, so this is good for me. Yeah. Okay. That could have been better, but I still think that is pretty acceptable. Heavy Slam. Does this KO the Sylveon? It does KO Sylveon. Okay, so we get rid of Sylveon immediately, which is not bad. So Sylveon eliminated. I can weaken the things for my Blaziken in position, but let's see. If it's Charizard, I get to click Superpower. If it's Garchomp, kind of curious on what Garchomp's clicking. But they can't knock out Dragonite on the good note. It might be Charizard as the last. Is it Charizard or Arrow? I mean, my best play here is just to Earthquake and go for a Superpower, I think, into the Gambit. I could also Scale Shot to Chomp, but they could protect Chomp, so I think I just go for Superpower. And if they go for Sucker Punch plus an attack, this is fine too. I don't mind this. Yeah, they go for Dragon Claw, that's fine. Like, even if I lose Dragonite there, like, I could have Extreme Speeded, I guess, but like, this is still pretty okay for me because now the Earthquake's doing a pretty good amount of damage, and I'm actually thinking I'm still in a really good spot with Blaziken, I think. Yeah, that's really good damage. So I'm going into Blaziken here. Or I could go Meow. Meow's not a bad play either, but I think I'd rather go out into Blaziken and get the speed boost first. Because if it's Aerodactyl in the back, I'm going to need the speed boost. So I think my best play here is just to go for an Earthquake and protect. Because even if I lose Mudsdale, I get Meow in safely, which is pretty good for me. So I'm going to go for Mega Evolve, Detect, and go for Earthquake. I guess this is only bad if they hard switch to Arrow, but if they hard switch to Arrow, I think that's still pretty okay for me because one of these would have to protect or they can't knock out Mudsdale, so I do get the KO, and then afterward, Mudsdale will still be around to threaten Heavy Slam into the Arrow, which would take the knockout, so I think that this is alright, but could be close. Alright, Mega Ball Blaziken. I don't think the Sucker Punch damage from Gambit will matter either in this endgame. If it's Charizard, I just gotta hit a Rock Slide. Okay, let's Detect. They Dragon Claw, which is fine. Alright. And Kowtow Cleave into the Blaziken, but that's acceptable. Because now we get to go Meowscarada. Sucker Punch doesn't KO the Gambit, so I think I always just Flower Trick the Garchomp and I go for a Flare Blitz into the Gambit slot. Because it covers like switches and without having to worry about any risk of accuracy. The only problem is the next turn against the Arrow, we're going to play some interesting mind games if it is Arrow. Oh, wait, they don't protect either. What? Okay. I think that means I should guarantee the win. That was also, I was wondering why Sucker Punch was doing so much at crit. Okay. Flare Blitz KOs the Gambit, so Gambit will go down. Flower Trick will KO the Garchomp at this range, and if it doesn't KO Garchomp, I'd be very shocked. So Gambit eliminated. And Flower Trick into Chomp. Life Orb Flower Trick at what, 35%? Yeah. Goodbye, Garchomp. And if the last mon's Arrow, I do win the game guaranteed. Yeah, because I can Sucker Punch close combat. If it's Zard, I will have to go for Rock Slide, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think I'm forced to go for Rock Slide, unfortunately. It is Zard, okay. I think Blaziken might live a Heat Wave, though, depending on their spread, so just hit your Rock Slide, Blaziken. Just hit your Rock Slide. Please hit your Rock Slide. Please hit your Rock Slide. That's all we need. Sucker Punch. Yeah, because I don't think Flare Blitz was KOing at that range in Sun. You have one more chance, Blaziken. You have one more chance. Lock in. You have one more chance. Lock in. Oh my goodness. What has been this episode? What has been this episode, man? Lock in and hit this Rock Slide. Please. Please. Okay. Okay. Alright. Luckily, Blaziken locked in and KO'd Zard to clean up the end. Alright, Mudsdale, the line, it did work pretty well there. It did work out. Okay. Alright, we have a Gliscor, Whimsicott, Glimmora, Metagross, Dragonite, and Incineroar. What am I looking at here? Okay. Glimmora, a little bit tough. It is a little bit tough. We do have a Golden Go, though. Golden Go is pretty decent against my opponent's team. What am I going here lead-wise, though? Is this... I mean, this is Tailwind, so I would usually want to bring Dragonite, but I'm not 100% certain. Is this a game where I bring Meow? I don't even know if I bring Meow here. It's like okay. There's not really anything other than, I guess, Triple Axle, but like, I don't really need it, I think. I think I'm just gonna bring Dragonite, Sylveon. I'm gonna bring Blaziken, and then I think Gold in the back. Because I think Gold is just really good against my opponent's team. I don't know if they're gonna lead the Glim here. That's the question. Because I do have a Gold, and I feel like the interaction is not great for them, so let's see. Because this is a normal lead into Tailwind, but I'm curious if I should just let Gold here. I should just let Gold here, looks like, okay? So I do lead the Dragonite into Sylveon, which, I mean, granted, like, this is not terrible, but I will go out into Gold for the Sylveon slot because I want to preserve it, and I'm just going to go out into my Golden Go. Because then next turn I can go for Extreme Speed plus Make It Rain into the Whimsicott, which should be pretty good here. I'm kind of curious if this is Mega Glim, because they have two potential Megas. They have Metagross and they have Glim. Although I don't think either one can knock out my... I don't think either one can knock out my Gold. So I should be okay here. Let's see. I don't think Moonblast Earth Power gets the Gold, but we'll see. This is probably Sludge Bomb or Power Gem. It's just the question of which one. They also don't have to... They could also double up my Dragonite with Moonblast Power Gem. They did actually go for that, which is really nice. Or did they Sludge Bomb here? That's actually really good for me. Nice. So I get an amazing turn, and now I can Extreme Speed plus go for a Make It Rain. And that's a really great spot for me because now I put on a lot of offensive pressure against the Whims. And they can't Moonblast Earth Power into Gold, and I don't know if it will KO specifically. I think it depends on like if the Whims maybe is Fairy Fighter and how much investment they have, but now it's just like Make It Rain is pretty safe here. to threaten a KO, potentially, and Extreme Speed is really nice. They didn't Mega Evolve the Glim, so it might be just Sash, which is fine. They protect Whims, which is okay. Alright. We go for the Extreme Speed attempt into the Whims. We go for the Make It Rain. I'm assuming they're going for Earth Power, so they can go for Earth Power again, but I can Extreme Speed the Glim if I want to. Yeah. Okay. This is Earth Power? Yes. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like Moonblast would have KO'd. I can go for Extreme Speed here into the Glim. I feel like I save. Do I? I don't know if I stay in or if I just go in a Blaziken. Because Extreme Speed looks really nice in the Glim, as well as a Make It Rain. If they Tailwind, I get the Extreme Speed off in the Glim, so they could Spiky Shield protect, I suppose. I think that's okay. I think I'm just going to Make It Rain and go for Extreme Speed. Okay, they got me out there, but I still don't even think this is that bad for me, realistically. This is Tailwind, or did they Moonblast? Because if they don't, I'm pretty sure I can Make It Rain will put them in range of Extreme Speed the next turn. Yeah, they have to Tailwind here. Okay. But I mean, we've kind of stalled out quite a bit of turns here, which is really nice. Yeah, I get good damage into Whims. Okay, Whims is weakened. I think I leave the Glimora alone. I think I target the Whims. I think I target the Whims and with Extreme Speed and I Make It Rain here. I could deny T-Spike, which is just really nice for my Sash Sylveon and my Blaziken, since I will have to stall out turns of this Tailwind here. And nice, I do get the Extreme Speed, and I always do threaten the Glim with a bunch of priority moves, so I don't think the Glim is actually the biggest deal at the current moment. I think it's like whatever the partners are. And if they are powered, this is fine. This is a pretty okay spot for me. The question is a Metagross back, I guess, but I mean, I do have a Blaziken, which is pretty tempting. So they do get a crit here, which is fine. We go on a Sylveon now, and we click Yawn, I think. Gliscor coming in, okay. I was very interested on if Gliscor was going to be a Mon that we had to deal with, and it looks like it is. Toxic Orb is not in the game. Evaneezy just stalled a Gliscor here, and I also get to scout for Protect from Glim. I guess like if the Gliscor has a setup move, I don't know if they do. But yeah, they do know my Sylveon is faster than a Dragonite. They don't know the team. We do get a Protect off. Let's see. Go for Sludge Bomb into Sylve, and they went for Ice Fang into D-Knighted. Okay, that's fine. Because I can go for Extreme Speed into Glim, and I will go for it. I think Single Target Hyper Voice is just really good damage. That's just too good to pass up here, so I will go for it. If Glim protects, that's actually pretty okay for me, because then we're stalling out these Tailwind turns, and no Toxic Spikes up yet is actually pretty nice. But we will get the KO on Glim. Toxic Debris is up. That's fine. Ice Fang, does this KO Dragonite? It does actually KO Dragonite, which I'm a little bit surprised by, but okay. Because Gliscor doesn't have the best attack set, but I mean, it is a 4 times versus. Oh, it's Life Orb, that's why. Okay. Here is a Hyper Voice. That's a lot of damage. Unfortunately, this might be a call the next turn, which is what I'm concerned about. If it's Metagross back, I might have. Oh, it's Dragonite. I feel like Sylveon should generally win this endgame. I mean, this is Mega Dragonite. The Tailwind expired. I think Rock Slide could miss a knock on Gliscor, so I think I always just go for Flare Blitz into Gliscor, Hyper Voice. I think that's pretty reasonable here. If they protect Gliscor, good play, but like I could protect the Blaziken. I don't want to give them a free Tailwind here. If they have Tailwind on either of these Pokemon, because I think both get access to Tailwind. I know Dragonite does. I'm pretty sure Gliscor does, if I'm not mistaken. So I'd rather just go for a Flare Blitz immediately and try to KO the Gliscor and then have Hyper Voice. But if this is Tailwind Dragonite that's timid, I'm in trouble. But otherwise, I should be good. Because if it's modest Dragonite, I just outspeed the Dragonite with Mega Blaziken because I'm jolly, and then I get the Flare Blitz off and the Gliscor, and then it's Dragonite versus 2v1, and I should be good there, but let's see. I did Mega Evolve first. And if I Mega Evolved first, I should be faster. Well, actually, no, it could be coming down to some speed points. It could have been a speed tie in the base form. Oh, that's so good for me. That's so good. Nice. Okay, goodbye Gliscor, and that will guarantee win here. Very, very good. I think. I mean, there's always ways you can cheese Sylveon, Ice Beam, Freeze, Thunderbolt stuff. I think I go for close combat because... Actually, do I close combat or can I Rock Slide here? I can afford to Rock Slide. Actually... Because Rock Slide gives me a flinch chance, but I can miss. Close combat always breaks multi-scale. I don't think I KO'd a Dragonite with a single target Hyper Voice from Timid. I think I Rock Slide Yawn. I think that's the play. Because I think it gives me the best odds to win, but let's see. We get a Rock Slide, so we break multi-scale, and then we have the flinch chance as well. That stacks up, which is kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, exactly. I don't think it really mattered unless maybe they have Iron Head and flinch my Sylveon, because my Sylveon does have a Focus Sash, so I always live any Dragonite attack. Then I can protect Sylveon, Dragonite falls asleep, and then it's GG. But now it's just guaranteed game over, because now I can go for Detect, Protect, or Double Detect in this case. Dragonite falls asleep. I click Close Combat, Hyper Voice. I guarantee win. Okay. All right. You know what? We will take it. Why did they protect the Dragonite? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I think they know the game's over too. Because now I can go for Close Combat plus Hyper Voice and the game will be set. I mean, I guess they're getting toxic damage, but yeah, like the game's just over. Because the Hyper Voice, Close Combat does way too much to Dragonite and the game is sealed. So, all right. I will take that. I will take that. Dragonite gone with Close Combat Hyper Voice. All right. A strange team for certain. I guess I could have let Golden go into this. I could have let Golden go. But you know what? We were still able to kind of do what this team wants to do. Stall out some Tailwind turns, set up for Blaziken to come in and then just sweep afterward. It worked. It worked. I also completely forgot they had Dragonite as an option because I said Glimmora and Metagross. I completely forgot they had a Dragonite. But it didn't give us any trouble, thankfully. So how was the team? Well, it's definitely very unconventional, but it doesn't look straightforward at all when you're playing it. And even playing wise, it definitely is very different from a lot of the teams that I have played, but it does catch your opponents off guard. And overall, like just setting up for Blaziken Meowscarada, like that combination is really strong next to each other. It's able to outspeed a majority of the format and able to do a lot. And I feel like the supporting cast was actually really impressive. Like other than Dragonite, this mon has just let me down so many times. Mudsdale clutched up for us one time, which was nice. And yeah, like overall, I do think the team is really fun and the combination is just really cool to explore. And yeah, it definitely feels different from a lot of teams that I have played before. So I highly recommend go try it out and go and check out the team creator, which I will link down below in the description. Of course, his report, make sure you go check them out as well. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.